Join me over here if you will. We're going to get started right away with the EOS C300. All right, this camera is fantastic. And as I like to do, I like to break down a digital cinematography tool into three elements. All right, three elements. First is the lens. Next, we talk about the chip that we're focusing the lens onto. And finally, the encoder. All right, once we've covered those three areas, we're going to talk about some of the external features that make the camera a tool for production instead of just a camera. All right, so starting with the lens. Chucky Luzier, one of Canon's finest, has graciously offered Canon's new 70-300 lens on this badass C300 for us. Thank you, that's a great shot. That's a great shot. So here we are, we're on a 70-300. That's an EOS lens, all right? You can buy this camera in two flavors, EOS or PL mount, all right? So of course there will be third-party adapters available and this kind of thing, but you're either going to buy it in its PL mount version or you're going to buy it in its EOS version. Connect all of your existing Arri Master Primes if you're on the one side. If you're on the other side, you'll connect all of your 7D lenses, or maybe you'll get some of these new badass 70-300s. There's also a new 8-15 super wide-angle Canon lens that's pretty awesome. Whichever method you buy, whether it's the PL mount or it's the EOS mount version, you are going to get this accessory right here. All right, and this accessory is one of the things that sets it apart from its predecessors in the Canon line. We've got two connections running to the front of this, which allow for XLR inputs, all right? Famously missing from the 7D and the 5D. You know, give them a break. They were making beautiful photography cameras. You're supposed to take one shot at a time with these guys. It was an accident that you were able to shoot video on these 5Ds and 7Ds and 1Ds and 60Ds, etc. But as it turns out, Canon did some research. 80% of the Canon 5D Mark IIs are used for video only. They're not even snapping still shots with that. Pretty impressive. All right, so about 3 years of development went into creating this tool, growing up from its little brothers, the 5D and the 7D. And first and foremost, yes, there is two XLR inputs. We've got 16-bit, 48 kilohertz sampling. You're basically recording the same kind of awesome audio that you would expect out of a high-quality camcorder. Additionally, included in this XLR adapter is this LCD viewfinder right here, Jose. Got that? It's about 3.5-inch diagonal. Shows you everything you need to know. Of course, you can add or subtract whatever information you want on here. But before we go away, check this out. We've got a waveform or a vector scope right into that LCD viewfinder. A couple of neat little handy tools. But I get ahead of myself. We were talking about the three pieces, starting with the lens. Now moving back to the chip. The chip in this camera is unbelievable. The chip in this camera allows for 20,000 ISO rating. Now, I'm not going to say there's no grain, right? When you boost your ISO rating, when you boost your your gain, your decibels of gain rating, you're getting the ability to shoot in lower and lower light with still a maintainable picture at the cost of a little bit of grain. Right? So if you were to boost your ISO up to something like 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, now you're starting to get to the limits of what you traditionally could shoot with your existing camcorders. Because of the chip on this Canon lens, and this is something that Larry's going to help us explain a little bit later, you can boost the ISO rating all the way up to 20,000. So you can shoot night for night. You can shoot night for day, really, if you wanted to. But we're going to do a quick demonstration of that, just to sort of show off some of the powers of the low light sensitivity of this chip. So in just a second, Verge, yeah, I'm going to ask you to shift over to our camera, all right? And for our viewing audience, we're going to turn on the menu display so you can see what we're up to. On. Okay. So on the bottom left-hand corner, I'd like to draw your attention to that ISO rating. You see it? Right now we're at 6,400 ISO. Do they even print film rated at 6,400? I haven't seen it. But something else that you want to look for that you may not have seen is the grain in this image. Jose, get a shot of Melvin over there if you would. And if we can cut to the EX3, to camera 1, please, just for a second. You'll see that, oh, you've got gain on? Take your gain off, man. You'll see that we've got no lights, all right? No lights focusing on Debbie, our lovely chat host, and Melvin, who's writing the audio boards for us. It's looking pretty dark, right? Come on back to the Canon EOS 300 for a moment. Look at that! Look at that, it's like daytime. It's like daytime, and that's not the end of it, all right? Let's see if we can boost this ISO up any further, all right? eventually you guys are going to get sick of this and you're going to say, Jesse, close your iris down. There's too much light here. Look at that. Are we too fuzzy yet? Is it unacceptable amount of grain yet? I'd say not, right? Well, we're at 20,000. So we've reached the limit of what this camera can offer at 20,000 ISO. All right, I will, just for the heck of it, close our iris down a little bit. Now we're back to something standard, but this is just sort of a quick and dirty demonstration of the sort of power, of the sort of low light sensitivity that was put into this camera, all right? It amazes me because it's something I haven't seen before. So make sure if you're in town, if you're in South Florida, pop over to Midtown Video tomorrow between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and you can put your hands on it and grab a quick hands-on demonstration of this camera before it's shipped off to its next lucky set of camera enthusiasts.